Hi everybody, thank you for watching the video. As you can see, this is my deadlift training from May 27th of 2020. My second to last deadlift workout at the end of this training cycle. Definitely as far as the numbers, walked away with the numbers I needed to hit. Went for 585 for 6 and then 585 for 5. I'll get a little more into the reason why, again, I've been going in this direction as far as my volume and intensity. But one of the biggest contributing factors as to why I'm seeing the numbers going in this direction, without question, is I definitely am back in contest shape. Now, before I started this training block, I was actually all the way up at 196 pounds. So what I actually did was I actually hopped on a diet. It's been about 13 weeks now since I've hopped on this diet, and I've actually lost 13 pounds. So a pound a week, again, just taking it very, very slow. Reason being is because I don't want to lose weight too quickly because you want to see a rapid decrease in strength. So I just wanted to take my time with the decrease in weight so that way it doesn't affect my training overall as far as my performance. So right now I'm at 183.6. I don't have an idea as far as where I want to get to. I most likely want to get down to my weight for my weight class, but as far as anything after that, I'm not entirely sure. So that's probably just remain to be seen. But as of right now, the diet that I am definitely using, without question, is something I'm going to be following for quite some time and just see where my body ends up. And another easy indicator for me, as far as just knowing how I'm doing as far as with my body, making the proper adjustments as far as just losing the weight, is obviously, a pretty common sense one, which would be just the notches on my belt. Now, when I'm around my contest prep weight or I'm in contest shape, usually I can get that belt all the way down to the very first notch. Before I started this training block and before I started this diet, I could only get down to the third to last one. So just been slowly making progress to where I was able to get it down to the second and now finally down to the first notch again. So easy indicator for me to know that I'm definitely in the shape that I need to be in as far as being contest ready. Because for me, my objective and my approach is that I want to walk in on my weigh-ins weighing the weight that I already have to be. I don't want to sit here and try to do a water cut and possibly just lose too much water and not be able to regain it in time. I'd rather dismiss that. And at the same time, for my body type, I've found that throughout my powerlifting career, I've always been more explosive and stronger when I'm actually at a lighter weight. I think it correlates just to my body type, and I feel that others have this exact same effect. One thing I've noticed is that when I have an increase in weight, obviously it really affects my core. I do have a thicker core, and it helps my bench press, and it helps my squat as well. I think it's just due to the sheer fact of just having a wider base, which is, thus creating better stability. But it actually hurts me on my deadlift because it actually gets me out of position instead of being in the position I want to be in. So when I actually am at a lighter weight where my core is actually a little bit thinner, I really think that it plays advantages into my leverages, thus putting me in a better position to be more explosive off the floor. And again, as you can see, the weight is still moving the way I would like it to be. And obviously my objective is to just keep the weight going faster. And that's another reason why I've been approaching this specific training block with this style of volume and intensity. Now, before, what I was doing, which is I'm sure something I'll definitely cycle back in sometime in the future. Before, what I was doing was I was doing my first set and I was just going all out for an AMRAP. Because of just the frequency and the intensity that I was doing per week, it wasn't really that frequent. So I would just give myself ample amount of time to rest and just go all out each week so that way I can just, push my body. And that's something that's definitely been relatively successful on my part for my training purposes. But I wanted to switch it up. What I was normally doing was I was just going for an AMRAP and all-out top set and then back off reps and then doing some heavy sets on my third set. Now, what I've been doing differently is I've adjusted the volume as far as what numbers I was going for on my first and second sets, and then just, whatever I have left in the tank, I just used it on my third set. Now, normally, as you can see from this workout, I only did 2 sets. I did 585 for 6, and then I did 585 for 5. I wanted to get 600 or 605 for a few reps, but I just didn't have it in the tank. But that is because I've been putting all of my energy in the first 2 reps. But that's what I wanted. I'm sorry, I put all of my energy in the first 2 sets, and that's what I wanted. That was the objective. I wanted to use the volume as the indicator for how my strength has been progressing, not necessarily the third set. So just working with this kind of volume and just upping it slowly has definitely been a lot more taxing on my body than just doing the different intensity and rep scheme that I was working with before. So, like for example, 585, the most I've ever done for a single set is 8, right? Now, in a perfect world, I would like for that to get to 2 sets of 8, and that's what I'm doing. Now, I've done the first set of 6, and I did the first set of 5, and of course, over time, I would like for those numbers to slowly get up. And obviously, if I can hit, 2 sets of 8, that obviously lets me know as an indicator that if I were to go for an AMRAP set again on the first set for that same weight, obviously I'm going to do more than 8 reps. So again, that's just something that I've tried to work on as far as adjust my body in a different manner, just to affect the nervous system and shock the body in a different way. So I feel overall that this has definitely been something that's been a big contributor just to my body. And it's funny because I think over the years, 5 years ago, actually, on this day, I was looking at some old footage. I've hit 585 for 3, and that was the most I could do. And you can see that 5 years ago, I was 585 for 3, all the way up to now, where I've done a set of 6 and a set of 5. I think the biggest indicator just has been just following that linear progression. But the linear progression for me has always been more about not necessarily adding more weight on. It's using the same weight, but moving it faster. Now, this is something that's always been an approach for me as far as just how I approach my training. For those of you out there that have never approached that way, maybe I would suggest, giving that a try if you're looking for a different approach or a different route as far as for your training. But this is something for me that I've found has definitely been a big help, But without question, I definitely want to put my body in the best position for my leverages to capitalize on that. So I think that this definitely was a testament to showing that was the case. So I feel that I'm in the right direction. However, I definitely want to carry that momentum and keep being consistent and keep making the right choices, right? Because that's what matters. Every set and every rep counts. So, I definitely went into this whole pandemic just keeping in mind that I definitely wanted to be contest ready, because whenever all this surpasses, I didn't want to be that guy that came out of this situation and was like, all right, I got to get back in shape. That wasn't what my objective was, and I definitely felt like it would have been a lost time if I was doing that, in these past few months. So I definitely wanted to capitalize on that opportunity. So I definitely feel that I'm definitely in contest prep, and I think I feel that I'm ready to go. I feel that I as far as with my numbers, if I were to, again, just get ready for a meet prep, I believe that without question I would bring my A game. And, obviously the goal and the objective is always to bring 110%. And I feel that, where I'm at right now and staying consistent and making the right choices and riding this momentum will definitely put me on that path. Again, like I've told you guys before, my objective right now currently is to qualify for Worlds at 181. I've already qualified at 198, but that's not my goal. I want to qualify in the 181 weight class and go for my 6th World Championship in a row. And they've all been in that same weight class. So I haven't varied or fluctuated between weight classes for the world. So, but unfortunately, for those of you who are in the USPA, the IPL has decided, Steve Dennison has decided to push IPL Worlds back a whole year into 2021. So there won't be any IPL Worlds this year. So for me right now, the objective simply is to compete, get my qualifying numbers so I can requalify for next year, and then see what big competition that I would like to hopefully be able to compete in, and see how I fare. Now, one competition that I do have in mind that I am without question am definitely going to do. And I never had the opportunity because it always followed on the same month, or the month before was the Olympia. It always was around the same time where I was prepping for Worlds, and I never had the opportunity because basically for me it was like, okay, either I can go to compete at the Olympia and not do Worlds, or do Worlds and not compete at the Olympia. And for me, it was always the Worlds, and that's always been my primary goal. But obviously, with these unfortunate situations, it seems that it's worked out where I actually had the opportunity to finally compete at the Olympia for the IPL. They do hold a IPL Pro Powerlifting event every year at the Olympia Expo, and I always wanted to compete in that. And I feel that, again, just due to unforeseen circumstances, that with my schedule and just how things are, it seems like it's going to work out to be that way. Hopefully, things get better. And they pushed the Olympia back to December, so hopefully, things are just going in the right direction where it stays that way, and the Olympia doesn't get pushed back as well. But obviously, at the end of the day, the most important thing is to make sure everybody's safe, and we're in a better place as far as with this pandemic. So if things just work out and the Olympia does stay in December, I without question will like to compete at the Olympia and just see how I fare. I've always wanted to go to the Olympia. Obviously bodybuilding was the reason why I got into fitness and working out, and all those guys look up to. So it would be a great opportunity to not only compete at the Olympia, but actually get to see the competition in person. So I definitely, if I go, I'm going to go all out. I'm definitely going to go to that competition. So yeah, that's where I'm at right now. And like I said, I think that consistency is very, very key at this point, and just making the right choices. It's not easy. I would have never imagined being in a position where I had to take 13 weeks to cut body weight. But that's the challenge that you get thrown into, and you just have to learn how to overcome it. Persevere, overcome it, be consistent, and make the right choices. And no matter what situation you're in, always make the adjustments. Instead, stay dedicated and believe in yourself, and you always get through it. So obviously 2 more workouts left in this training block. We'll see where I stand as far as hitting a probably heavy single. Hopefully by that time it would be when the gyms are open back up, which would be ideal as far as just being in the right environment and having the necessary equipment to perform that. And the beat goes on. So as always, thank you guys for watching the video. Please stay safe. Please be smart. Again, be consistent, stay true to yourself, and most importantly, believe in yourself. Thank you guys for watching the video, and take care.